Over the years, video game releases have been plagued with duds and fumbles, and the problem only seems to be getting worse. And with the rise of the free-to-play market and a highly competitive, microtransaction-laden landscape, it seems that more and more frequently we are seeing games released in saturated genres or ones with hungry fan bases that want innovation, and the games just flat out fail. But there's one game that has been quietly growing in the shadows of Steam and maybe setting itself up to take the stage as one of the biggest game releases for the multiplayer and free-to-play space that we've seen in years. Today, we're talking about Deadlock. Deadlock, Valve's new third-person hero shooter MOBA, has been in the works for quite some time. Officially being announced in the summer of 2024, the game has slowly been growing a dedicated and fervent fan base that has been climbing over the past year and has recently attempted to reach its high concurrent player count. Sitting at roughly 100,000 active users according to SteamDB, despite entering into both a highly saturated hero shooter genre, which has seen many failures of many shapes and sizes, and a dominated MOBA market with games like League of Legends and Dota, the game still seems to be thriving. But the question is how? How is a game that isn't even officially out of closed alpha testing climbing the charts and slowly becoming one of the most anticipated releases in the hero shooter, MOBA, and free-to-play markets? I think the secret is in something that none of us even realized. Way back when Deadlock first began its testing, it was set up with a very specific system: invite-only playtesting to Valve employees, their friends, and their families, meaning workers could invite a few people to playtest the game with. As development went on, they also began inviting some veteran Dota 2 players and CSGO players into the playtest. Then, on August 23rd, 2024, Valve made the announcement and released a game's Steam page for Deadlock, and so was the playtest method of access revealed. Following the rule that playtesters could invite anyone on their Steam friends list to play the game. This made for an air of exclusivity and accessibility. The game quickly shot up to 172,000 players concurrent. However, its first outing was exciting, but didn't do much in the way of player retention. The playtest dipped from its peak of nearly 172,000 players to just around 20,000. And the game remained there for a while with dedicated testers and faithful believers that kept the project's test rolling. But the devs believed, and they didn't give up on Deadlock, constantly giving it attention and honing. In January of 2025, they released 3 new heroes, and then in the following month of February, they released a map rework, taking the map from its original 4-lane design down to the traditional MOBA 3. Then, in May of 2025, they reworked the shop, adding new items, a quick buy feature, and a build publishing system, allowing players to put their builds up on a community board for others to try out and test. Since then, they've added 12 new heroes, including 6 with their most recent update, Old Gods, New Blood. This major update has added in a bunch of improvements to the game, including new animations, new reworks to the player bases, and so much more. And not for nothing, around September of last year, the game saw a resurgence in player numbers, and it has been slowly climbing ever since. Valve is building a game that is slowly reaching a boiling point under the surface of being something awesome, and its success will not be based on flashy trailers or shadow drops, but word of mouth and exclusivity. Deadlock regularly sits at the top of Steam wishlist charts. It has set itself up to be a major release when Valve finally decides to pull the trigger, because we, the players, have made most of the marketing for them. And I think this is a really great strategy that Valve is going for, because so many of these games that release, we're talking Concord, Highguard, Ashes of Creation, they rely on a lot of different things. Whether it's Kickstarter backings and promising this grand thing, or it's playtests, flashy trailers, and the hope that diving into a genre that has made people tons of money is gonna be enough to set their game over the top, instead of doing something that a lot of developers forget: taking the time to make the game great, listening to your community, and building hype around a quality product. And that is why I think Valve is doing something so much different with Deadlock. Because I have had a chance to play the game recently, and I'll tell you what, whatever that work is that they're putting in, it's showing. The game feels amazing, running around from lane to lane, dashing, dodging, the combat system, the build system, every character. Even though the balancing can be a bit rough at times, especially upon new hero releases and the servers have a bit of an issue, that's all stuff to be expected from a game not even officially out to the public. And for a game that isn't officially out yet, Deadlock is great. So that's going to do it for this video. Thank you guys for sticking around for this quick little one. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, be sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on that notifications bell. We put out videos here regularly and we live stream every weekend. My name is James, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.